January 10th. January 10th, man. Um, January 10th. Would like to start off with, some health information. As a vegan, people will assume that we like salads. For example, as a vegan option, out of all the ribs and burgers and hot dogs and, chicken and like everything, that'll be at the normal get together, my option that, they'll say, hey, we got a salad. Who the F wants a salad, bro? Like, I want that salad as much as the next person. But I say that to say, my diet as a vegan isn't perfect. Sometimes, I may get too much sodium or too much fat. And I have some family members who are dealing with high blood pressure. And there was one family member who told me about beet juice. Beet juice. I used to have these sharp pains in my heart, man. Like, if I ate a whole bag of chips or something insane like that. But the beet juice would get me right. Like, I would drink that beet juice, man, and that pain would go away. I think the name of this company is called Lakewood. But there is this beet juice. It comes with ginger and turmeric. It's one of the best juices out there, man. Especially if you mix it with pineapple juice. It's incredible. But anyway, schools. I was thinking about schools today and how to make school more interesting. And I think it would be so easy. In this society, I doubt that something like this will happen in my lifetime, but we'll see. I think, you have to compete with social media. You have to compete with where this kid is living. After you give after you instruct or teach your boring class, your students go back to reality. They leave your class and their head is like down at their phone getting that programming, or they go to their friends and they're getting that programming, or their insane abusive household. You have to compete with all of this. I forget where I heard this, but School's Out for Summer was this very popular song. Why? It was popular because, students couldn't wait to get the F out of there. Like, get me out of here. Like, you're escaping. It's almost like you're escaping prison. It was this insane comparison a while back I saw where, there was an image of, students standing in line, and then there was this image of the prisoner standing in line. There was this image of the school cafeteria, the image of the prison cafeteria, and it was just, the school bus that the kids get on, and then you look at the bus that the inmates get on. It was just insanely, eerily similar. And then you look at school, man, they try to fit everybody into this one, uh, you're conforming everybody to this one mold when people don't work that way. You know what I mean? You have comics, you have actors, you have engineers, you have mathematicians, you have all different types of people, artists and scientists and mathematics. You have musicians. You know what I mean? Like I would hear a lot on Joe Rogan's podcast. The class clown. You're antagonizing this class clown, but this person may not relate or may not be able to fit into this mold that you're trying to force him or her into. You know what I mean? Maybe this person will excel in another area. And by you treating this like it's a horrible thing, you know what I mean? You're stopping this flower from growing, so to speak, or this plant from growing. But I think that's one thing, gear the education to each person specifically. You know what I mean? The path that this person is going down, adjust your teaching. And I think I remember going into art class, man. Like, I'm an artist at heart, and going into the art class, it's like I wasn't even in school at that point. During that entire period, like, this is my world. You know what I mean? So it's like everything we did during, I got an A every time. Everything I did in the art class was effortless. But just like more of that, man. If I would have had like maybe a poetry class or whatever, who knows? But I think with something like mathematics, instead of these extremely boring and tedious black and white numbers on the page, you have to see how it applies to real world. Arithmetic is something that's easy. You could have 3 marbles, and you could be given 2 marbles, and that's physical. You know what I mean? Or you could have 8 and somebody takes 6 away. You could see how that's working. You know what I mean? You could take an orange and you could cut the orange in half, or in fourths, like that's fractions. You know what I mean? But algebra is a different thing. Geometry is a different thing. Maybe there are classes somewhere out there, but not the class I went to. You want mathematics to be this almost like a Legoland type of situation, where you walk into this, very colorful, very beautiful area, and instead of this chalkboard, this, archaic form of teaching that's been going on since who knows when. But this is, look at the times that we're in, man. I'm able to shoot a video in my car. You know what I mean? Just by hitting the button. And this video is going to come out, it's going to have amazing quality. And you're expecting these students to walk into a class, something that I did, decades ago, and learn the exact same way. That is idiotic. It should be phenomenal. Like, the mathematics should be phenomenal at this point, and I could do it, if the government wanted to pay me, where I didn't have to worry about money, man, I could easily reform learning. You know what I mean? the science classes that I went into, it was geared for experiments. I hear people do experiments and things like that, you know. I think science is, you know, close to being on the right track. I don't know how far they go with it, you know, but man, a science class should be like recess. Like you should be out walking in nature. You know what I mean? Um, like truly exploring. And this teacher should be, you know, giving you demonstrations on how the world works for real. You know what I mean? You know, so that's math and that's science right there. Maybe it exists, but I didn't see it. You know what I mean? Um, Social studies or history or whatever that's called. That should all be acted out. That should all be acted out. That should be like a play. You know what I mean? The wars, the making of the laws, the American African American history, like the slaves type situation, you know what I mean? Like actually going to the plantations and going to like downtown to like see what's going on, but um do it in a way where like the kids can participate, um and use language that they can understand. Like, yes, you will eventually have to learn the actual vocabulary, but for in the meantime, put it in layman's terms. But let me see how this all works. Let's do in those situations. Let one of the students make a law, you know what I mean, and show or um like sign treaties, but a treaty that you create, you know what I mean. Just give the student, like, let the student have a hands-on experience with history, you know what I mean, a true hands-on experience, with the Vietnam War, like all of those things, man. Is just the experiences I had were extremely poor. So that's math, science, that's history. I think PE or physical education would be easy. Health and physical education. I think that maybe a little biased because you have the pharmaceutical industry. So it's like, are you really gonna teach kids about health? Are you really gonna do that? You know what I mean? If you create a generation who are conscious about health and they come out into the world, that could collapse the pharmaceutical industry. Like, to truly inform young people, you know what I mean? And physical health, man, like, instead of, man, we did dumb stuff like volleyball and man, I don't even remember what we did. We didn't do the dodgeball stuff, but I'm learning stuff about ice baths and about fasting and like proper you could teach students proper lifting technique, you know what I mean? And the benefits of strength training, of swimming, of shooting. And in school, man, there should be like a life class, that's showing you how to, like, maybe how to earn money. Show me how to earn money. Show me like, while I'm coming it up through school. And I know a lot of this should be on the parent, and as a parent, I'm not gonna depend on the school to do any of what I'm saying. Like, my kids will have an amazing experience in mathematics, like all the subjects. My kids will have an amazing experience learning, and it'll just, the school will just, the purpose the school will serve is just, give out the homework and give out the tests, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. Thanks for listening. I have more. Literature and communication. I think that should be more about understanding and more about communicating effectively. That's it. More about better understanding and more about communicating effectively, getting your point across effectively, with pinpoint accuracy. You know what I mean? That is in realizing that. And wait, let me finish that point. That's the reason why I got into communicating, and realizing the beauty in language. Like, there's beauty in language, man. Just like each word, like being able to like hip hop. I think hip hop is beautiful. Hip hop artists are beautiful how they place words together. Comedians, how they're able to rearrange words in such a way that get a pop from the person who's laughing. You know what I mean? Lawyers and people in politics, how they're able to just, speak so perfectly. And but yeah, man, I don't want this video to be too long, but I think, and I'm sure that's what English teachers or English class is in the eyes of the teacher, maybe, or the administrators, maybe. But it didn't come across like that to me. It all just came across as meaningless work. January 10th, man, a third of a way through this first month of 2023. Be good to your mind, your body, your spirit, and your finances. Be good.